Hi, I'm Jeff and welcome to my shop. In this video I'm going to do something a little different. What I have here is some really nasty looking old flooring. It's painted. It was sitting out being stored outside in the rain for I'm not sure how long. It's all full of nails and splinters and all sorts of stuff, and this probably lead paint. I'm going to test that before I get started, but why on earth would I go through the time of pulling out the nails and cleaning this up and planing it for something that's obviously so nasty? The reason is this is over 100-year-old heart pine flooring. So this is essentially a type of wood that doesn't exist anymore. And this stuff, when I get to the good pieces, is so cool and amazing that it's worth the effort. So just to give you a little idea of what that looks like, this is a couple pieces of that glued together into a panel. So when you find the good stuff here, it's just absolutely amazing. It's worth the effort. And so we're going to go through and see how much we have, and then projects to go from there. But I've already done one project from this wood, and I'll provide a link to that up here. So hope you enjoy this video. And if you do, please feel free to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Thank you for watching. So with that, I'm going to conclude this video. I now have roughly 2.5 shelves of this super cool material here to work with for future projects. If anybody has any ideas of projects they think would be cool to utilize this material, please leave them in the comments down below. I have a couple of ideas, but they're pretty low on my priority list. If something comes up with something really cool, I might consider doing that. One thing I'm considering is a segmented turned vessel. And I've done some of that work before. There's some, I'm not going to provide links to that. I talked about the one project I've done with this before, so the links to that. But where we're standing right now, this is what I call the annex to my shop. So in my shop tour video, I sort of talk about this, but I added this onto my shop when I finished my basement. There's an entire video series on that up above, including me building a walk-in wine cellar. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, please feel free to check any or all of those out. And in addition to looking for project ideas, if anybody is interested in some of this material for them to do something cool, there's probably more than I can ever use. I would love to see this get used, and I'd be willing to trade it for some cool material somebody else has, or open to other ideas. But certainly having this made into objects that people will treasure is better than having it sit on these shelves. So with that sort of long-winded outro here, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And if you don't mind, please feel free to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Thanks for watching.